Okay, cool. Hey everyone. It has been out of game 2 weeks since we recorded episode 55, A Blanket of Stars, and episode 56, Before the Dawn. How are we feeling?
I'm
Cries.
still crying on the inside.
I haven't stopped
Yeah.
weeping.
Fulfilled, but also slightly sad.
Sad but happy, if that makes sense.
Sappy.
Sappy.
Sad.
Well, we can get a little sappy tonight as we answer some community asked questions. Man, I'm proud of that segue.
V, I do want to say you sounded like you were flirting. I got uncomfortable. You'll have a girlfriend.
It's okay, continue. That was a good
got proud
segue.
I just
It was
got
a good
too proud.
segue.
I got too proud of the segue and got like in.
Into
I got
it.
into the segue.
Oh my god. Just...
I was attracted at my own. I was that proud.
Oh no.
Verbal narcissus. Anyway, God, that whole segue just was destroyed before my very eyes. All right, we're answering some community asked questions from our Discord, from our friends, and a few from myself because I don't know, I wanted some feedback. And as well as like the last table talk session where we're going to show a few fun Podbean stats and talk a bit about the future and some other prizes along the way. Whew. So I figure let's get the good shit out the way and start with the questions, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. I will tell you if one is targeted at anybody, but otherwise assume it's for everyone. And we can go chat order because last time that got confusing. We'll go chat order, but obviously I'll go last as the proctor, you know?
Fair.
Okay. So the first question is I'm trying to find one that would be a good first question out of order because I wrote them in order sent, you know?
Yeah.
There's a Pixie asks, "Are we okay?"
I mean,
Okay.
are any of us okay?
Kinda.
We're
Yes.
alive.
I think it was nice to have the break because it let me just like get my bearings for like a hot second. But I'm okay.
I think I'm okay.
I'm okay.
I'm alive.
Pretty good.
That's little stressed.
Libby. I'm
I'm a
alive.
little stressed.
Hey,
A
you're
little
gonna
stressed.
break.
Stress is not alive.
You say that.
And I'm right.
I've never called you a liar. So yeah, I guess.
Ren Hewlin from Here There Be podcast Outcast. The Here There Be Outcast podcast. Try saying that 10 times fast.
Gonna.
Asks, did the world have a creation myth? To which I say, maybe?
Probably.
Probably, yeah. Assumedly. I kind of feel like one of the interesting parts about our campaign was it simultaneously did get very, like, cosmic in stakes, but it stayed very humble in scope.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't think other campaigns sometimes talk about, like, fighting the gods and becoming the gods. Hi, Hallie, we love you. So, like, I think ours kind of stuck to this group of people defending their home. And I think even though the stakes got more cosmic, the scale stayed very local. And I thought that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't go more than like 100 miles out of Timshol unless we were in a different plane.
Yeah, like we went to some other planes a couple of times, but it was only for like a few episodes.
I love how
casually you guys said that.
We
then they
don't
came
talk
back
about
and
what
helped
happened
us
in
the
Ravnica.
But we do though, because B already said what he planned to have happen, and then we have what actually happened, and we've already gone through everything that happened.
What did happen?
Oh my god.
Well, B said the stuff that he was going to have happen, and then we know that Sari was part of part of the like blood circus for a little while, and then
We
we
love that.
somehow yeah, and then we somehow escaped.
Somehow.
And we know that we met Mel. Somehow, I don't know exactly how we escaped. Then afterwards, we fought a big monster that took Sari's shoes.
I don't remember that.
I
We
don't
became
remember
friends.
any of this. I think my mind has repressed it because we've gone so long without actually talking about it.
Okay.
We're not supposed to talk about what happened in Ravnica. That's what Pixie says. It's a reference.
Well, we
Otherwise,
have
Pixie-
talked about what happened in
We have,
Ravnica.
and
It's in
each-
the podcast.
And each time Pixie comes to my house with a knife and says soon.
Yeah.
Little do you know, Pixie, that only fuels the fire. You can't kill him.
He's immortal. He's like a cat with 9 lives. Except for each life is more and more powerful and more Ravnica trips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you thought one was bad. Wait until campaign 75.
The whole
Oh,
thing
God.
takes place on
Will we
Ravnica.
even be alive then?
I don't know, man.
Probably. We're gonna live
Anyway.
forever. Oh
The
wait,
whole
fuck.
thing takes place on Ravnica.
I would not
It's
mind a
just-
Ravnica campaign in my future.
That'd be fun.
Not explicitly on the podcast, but just like in general. I think that'd be a fun set. That'd be a fun setting to do a campaign in, period.
Yeah, it would be.
Hey, remember, we have friends. That does things like this.
We
That is
have
true.
friends.
We have the friends.
Yeah.
You have the Friends crew.
What is the Friends crew?
Who
anyways?
no one
knows.
only a couple of people listening will know what that is. That was the campaign that Connie and Mel originally came from.
And
Ashtai
Ashtai.
and Perrin.
And and Ashtai and
Yeah.
Parrot. I'm so sorry. I love them. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Dear,
I can't
dear
say
Livy.
I can't say it anymore. Oh no, I've got my line taken from me.
By court of law.
Oh, I've got my core
Technically,
being taken.
this Q&A is for campaign 1, so you can still say it until the end of this episode.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
Ah.
There you go. Oh, feels like a weight's been lifted up.
It feel good, Livy.
I'm glad I got that out of my system. Oh boy.
Every time you can't say it, there's a part of you that's just sitting there like
You are. I would be lying if I said that you weren't 125 million% accurate.
Pixie asks Rev, how do you do your ooh voice?
Oh no.
Oh no, here it comes.
Hold on. She actually.
You've made her happy. Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no, here it comes.
I haven't done this in a couple of days.
Well, to successfully pull off the Ulu voice, you have to. Let's see. I don't even know how to explain it really. I just kind of.
Huh.
I
My
just kind of
gosh.
do it. Like, I don't really think about it that much.
my soul is leaving my body.
Every
Wait,
day we stray
wait.
further from the gods.
Shay, is it going up or down?
Both simultaneously. It's being split apart.
Oh no.
Oh man, but
I did-
in all seriousness, I don't really know how I do it. It just kind of happens.
That's the longest that
it
I've heard
gives
you
you-
speak in the Uwu voice.
I'm just baby Ulu.
Oh, ah.
I don't like that.
It gives you power, and that's what's scary about it, is every time you've done that voice on the podcast, you've rolled like a nat 20, and it's terrifying.
I am no longer baby. I want power.
I'm unsettled.
Thank you, Pixie, for that
We've
question.
lost half of our audience just now.
Either they stopped listening or they literally
gained-
died.
And gained a new audience of furries.
Welcome.
Welcome aboard. Campaign 2 is also back. See, now you're welcome.
We just have
Yep.
Shinari. Shinari is the entire
Oh
show
god, I
now.
forgot about Shinari.
It's Shinari
okay.
and Jatai and the bird AU.
No! Okay,
No!
The
Pixie
cursed bird AU.
Pixie once again wants to know what favorite moments from her recaps were, because last time we gave her the cop-out answer of all of them, and I'm realizing now, for a content creator, hearing all of it was good might just not be a good answer.
Oh,
That's fair.
Okay,
So-
okay.
I guess
I have
I'm
to think
first
about
then.
this.
Cat.
Yeah, cat first, because
I don't know. I think it's really funny. Every single time, like she just fucking pulled out a ukulele last time, and I think my soul left my body. I was like, "Oh, oh God!" There's going to be singing, and it was fantastic.
This is a weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
I really like when she just does random parodies that no one's expecting, like freaking Dead Girl Walking
Yeah.
for Anna.
Yes. I like when
Just-
she screamed about her campaign being canon.
That was good. That was really good.
I liked what did there was one that I thought was really funny where I think she said like, and this is oh yeah, like I forget exactly what it was, but it was something along the lines of, "Oh, Caleb's dad showed up. This is how much we learn about him." And then she holds up a sign that says nothing. that
I love
made
that
me
bit.
that made me laugh. And also the songs were fantastic. I really, really enjoyed them.
Can
I
I
also-
The Happily Ever After song has made me cry. I've listened to it 7 times and I
It's
cry
really,
every
really
single
cute.
time.
Yes. And also, I just love how much content she got out of the "we don't talk about what happened in Ravnica" bit. Like,
I know!
She's talented.
Nurses is all it's fucking worth, and
I
so
know. She like
Pixie, we love
really
you,
rolled
thank
with
you.
that joke. It was great.
Oh man. I gotta say, for me, it was the fact that someone listened to something I created and put in time into like even just memeing about it made me happy, because they were memes that you could only understand if you listened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the narcissist in me. But the entertainment value, absolutely one of my favorite jokes. That was the running gag in 2 and 3, where she had to get myself and Rev to do a few lines because the situation called for it. And I see when I did the one for Desperate Times Call for Divine Measures back in Arc 2, I thought she needed me to do background voices. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So then I did her thing, and then I put it aside and was like, okay. I remember I did that like 2 a.m. too. Inspiration strikes at weird times. And then fucking I finally see the video and I get hit by that text to speech voice. I was like, whoa. Because I thought that she wanted me to do the lines in the background. You know what I mean? I
Uh-huh.
thought that she'd worked it out that the only interruption would be my voice. And I was interested to see how she'd do it. But the text-to-speech voice like threw me for a loop, and I was... It's weird to say, but the production value of the recaps only grew, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like the
Pixie
level of
does a great
editing-
job.
She does. Pixie, we can't wait to see what you do in Arc 2. We
Mhm.
can't
For
wait to
campaign two.
see what you do. Da, da, da. I can't sing AJR. I'm tired. Anyway,
Also the confetti in the last one. That's just
confetti was
hilarious.
very good.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, Pixie, as you can obviously see, we're fans of your work just as much as hopefully you are ours. Because of that, I also
Aw.
take a moment to say Pixie's part of her own podcast now, guys. And so it is advice show styled with characters from like a supernatural slant. And Livy's part of it too.
Yeah, hi.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's very cute. Episode 1 came out, and I can't wait for more of it because I'm excited. And the first episode gave me quite a few loud exhales through the nose.
Instead of laughing. Because that's how everyone on the internet laughs now.
It's true.
The only time you actually laugh is when you're trying to get it across that you are laughing. Like right now.
Here's the thing about that. You're right. So then when you actually laugh, it's because the thing you're laughing at is so freaking funny. It's just
Although I just giggle at everything. I'm just really, really easy to make laugh.
Oh,
Like,
now
too,
I'm going to use that to
honestly,
my
me too.
advantage.
I'm a very giggly person.
87% of our podcast is just me laughing loudly.
Hey, Shay.
Yeah.
Narwhals.
Yeah, you gotta try harder than that.
Fine. I'll come back at it later.
Okay.
Next question. Gonna search around through the question sheet, and it is gonna be another one from Pixie because she asked a lot.
Good.
She asks, there's a few kind of joke questions that I think we can knock out. Pixie asks, are bagels round? Hey, hang on a second. We already did this.
Yes, bagels are round toast.
Not round toast.
You know what is round toast? You know what is round toast?
What is
What?
round toast?
Circular toast.
Toaster waffles.
Oh
No.
my god.
No.
No. Wait, no. Those are
They're
just
round.
toasted waffles.
They're round. They go in toasters. Toaster, round. They have
No.
bread. It's just round
No.
toast.
No.
What?
No, they're waffles. They are not
Toast wheels.
No.
They're
No.
toast wheels.
waffles.
They have
are
different
not-
ingredients, and so do donuts.
Bread has flour. Toast
But there's
Waffles
also other
have
stuff.
flour. Sweetbread. Cake is just bread. Brownies
Livy-
are just cake.
Okay,
The
Okay,
universe is a
okay.
lie.
I'm gonna
Okay,
But
here's
does
the thing.
cake taste the same as bread or a bagel? No.
Listen,
Yeah, it
listen.
can if you make it bad enough.
Yeah, if you make it badly, but if you make
What
it
is
how
it,
it's
Rev?
supposed to be made.
What was your argument, Rev? What was your scientific?
I'm just saying that just because something is toasted, it doesn't make it toast. You can toast almonds. Does that make those toast?
If you put them in a toaster, then yes.
What?
Livy,
But
no!
you don't do that.
No. That's
My
not-
grilled cheese becomes toast cheese if I put it in the toaster.
I think
That
I'm
is-
going to like hurt you.
There's no arguing with this mad woman.
We need to move on from this question until we
I used
literally
to be
kill
on
each
your
other.
side, Livy. Anyway,
Livy's the
Oh,
one
no.
who's gonna make us go crazy over this question because she just
And-
keeps bringing up new.
Can Pixie be a friend / have a hug? Yes. No.
Yes.
Yeah, of
Next
course.
question.
Yes.
Pixie, I swear, as soon as this quarantine's over, I'm gonna fly over to England and give everybody their hug.
Take me
Oh,
with you.
everyone in England.
Everyone in
Yeah,
England,
sure.
even the Brexit.
Until I find
Everyone.
Pixie.
Why would they?
And Pixie gets the
Okay.
best hug.
That's an ambitious goal. Hug everyone in England.
I'm a huggy person.
Okay.
I got time.
Maybe we could get to questions that are actually about the show. That'd be interesting.
That'd be fun.
Okay. Nick, a Wolf Song 01, I believe. Our buddy Nick asked,
Our old pal
Does-
Nick.
"Yeah, does Caleb work out? Discuss.
Does Caleb go to the gym?
Work out.
No.
Does Caleb work out? Discuss.
No.
No.
Okay, but okay.
Maybe.
He lifts 8-pound weights to try and look buff in front of the miror.
Okay,
And that's
Is that
about all he
scene?
did.
Is that scene from SpongeBob where he has the two stuffed animals on the end of a weight and he's like struggling?
He's got 2 donut holes on the end of a spoon,
guys.
and he's struggling.
Guys, this is bullying.
What's up, Rev?
Do you okay? Shay, you should remember this. You drew it, but like way back at the beginning of the campaign, before we even started anything, when Victor was still around, that one comic you drew of Caleb.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wrestling match.
Oh yeah. You're right.
I
He
think
beat
it's
him at
been
a-
canonized that he works out at least a little bit.
Like I said, 8-pound weights.
Well, what is Caleb's? What is his strength?
Caleb's strength is I don't have my character sheets with me.
It's not like a negative number, right?
It's not. It's at least. It's either. I swear to God, it's in the range of 0 to +1. I will.
He's
say
either
that,
average or slightly more than average.
I don't remember. I will, or maybe it's either -1, 0, or 1. It's in that range. His dexterity is +5. However.
Okay. So So he's more of like kind of like a gymnast, you know, like he's agile. I don't think Caleb's definitely not strong. There's not a lot of muscle on that boy, but I think he has some levels in rogue. So
Right.
I think he probably runs and like
he's got
does like
soccer
he's
player
like
muscle.
yeah, he's like flexible. So I guess like yes to some degree. I don't think he's and like I do kind of like to imagine that, maybe like Zagreus, cuz Zagreus is super a meathead and I love him. Is probably like, I'm going to, you're my best friend, I'm going to help you. And I like to imagine that Zagreus like tries to get him to work out, and it's not.
But they worked out together
That was a joke.
when they were together.
I'm trying to remember where.
Oh yeah, you're right. That was in the episode with Finley and Zagreus. That was
Not
a joke. That yeah.
I was saying working out implies you're doing it to get buff, which I don't think is accurate. But like he definitely like does a moderate amount of exercise, I think, which has a completely different connotation.
Yes, Caleb doesn't try to make himself buff or strong.
He's fit.
He does. He's agile. He has agility. Yeah, he's an agile character.
Okay. So the answer to that question is he does not work out, but he does exercise.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's very valid.
Yeah, that's a valid answer.
You do not have to get gains to live a healthy life.
Yeah.
Straight facts.
Okay, that was weirdly wholesome. All right.
You can be a small, lovely little wizard. If you don't got Messel, become a wizard. That's the solution.
Yep, pretty much. Beat up people with fireball.
Yeah.
So, okay. I'm trying to find like more silly ones and get into serious. Xavier asks, if your character cosplayed a fictional character in our like, this is a hard question to phrase. If your character cosplayed a fictitious character, what fictitious character would they cosplay? Meaning it has to be a character that is fictional to the world of D&D and our own. So something that's not D&D. And you can't say something like, Andre's going to cosplay myself because I'd be a fictional character. Not that.
That would be so funny, though. Our characters cosplay as us.
No.
That's not allowed.
Oh, that's weird.
It's weird to think about. I don't like it.
Finley would cosplay as Captain Marvel.
Yes.
Oh, I
love
that.
That's so perfect.
I like that a lot.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Can I suggest one for Andre?
Sure. What's that?
If we're going with Marvel, Black Widow. She has red hair.
I was
She's
actually
like
thinking
basically
that.
a rogue.
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Nice.
That'd
What would
be a
that
good
make
one.
Sari?
Sari is just
she can be she literally can just be Ty Lee from Avatar.
I was gonna say that was exactly what I was
could.
gonna say. Sari just looks like Ty Lee from Avatar.
Yeah, pretty much. I was gonna say, if Sari cosplayed anyone, she'd probably go Disney princess route. Maybe like she'd do Rapunzel or Moana.
Oh, that's cute.
Ooh.
What about Rowan?
I don't know. Rowan's kind of a hard one.
Say a fursuit.
No!
Absolutely not.
Just because she's a druid doesn't mean
Yeah,
I didn't even use wild shape that many times.
Wait, if you wild shape, does that make you a furry?
No.
No.
Her last name is Wolf, guys. Literally.
Her name
No!
on all levels, including physical, she is a wolf.
She really. Yep. I mean, you did it to yourself. You are last named assigned furry.
Fuck!
You are.
I didn't
Oh,
know! I was trying to have like a cool cathartic scene. No!
Just a furry.
Hey, no one will ever be as much of a furry as Siren is, who's literally a wolf half of the time.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeehaw.
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 This isn't a Q&A, this is just bullying our characters.
Maybe.
Hey, furries are
Anyone?
valid.
Yeah, I don't know which character Rowan would be. Maybe, like, you know the little fairies from, Sleeping Beauty, the animated one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, one of them.
I thought you were gonna
Oh,
say
that's
like
cute.
one of the fairies from the Tinkerbell series, which
Oh,
I'm now
no.
remembering is a series.
Yeah. There's like 5
I
of them.
never watched that show.
I
Oh,
watched
no,
like all the
you need to watch
movies.
all the movies. They're good movies. Except for the first one makes me cringe so hard because of secondhand embarrassment
I need to
Understood.
rewatch them.
Alright.
that I no longer can watch that one. I feel like maybe Rowan would cosplay like maybe Amethyst from Steven Universe because she's small.
Oh, I can kind of
She's
see
small
that.
and tough.
I can sort of see that.
Kaylin would be a Steven cosplayer. Or Dipper. Actually Dipper. Dipper from
Probably Dipper.
Yeah,
Oh my
Dipper's-
gosh, that's
yeah, that-
wholesome.
If
that
he's
works.
Dipper, does that make Anna Wendy?
Ugh.
Or does it make her Anna from Frozen?
No,
No.
because Dipper and Wendy ended up having a very good friendship that I liked a lot, and I liked when they
Yeah.
moved past the kid crush aspect and focused on the fact that they are good friends. I liked that.
Yeah.
Okay,
If
but
Anna
Dipper
were
and
to
Pacific actually is a canon thing, though.
Is
Is
it?
In the Gravity Falls Lost Legends comic book, Dipper and Pacifica do
God,
kind of
we're
have a
just
thing
being
for each
nerds
other.
now.
Okay, guys.
Oh, we're just being nerds. Stop being
Come on,
nerds.
guys.
Stop being nerds and do a D&D podcast.
For
Actually,
Anna,
can I
for
can I
Anna,
say
I was
this
gonna
is
say Jean Grey, but okay.
Yeah, that works.
Dies
I
a
feel
fuck
like-
ton, is a phoenix sorcerer.
Sherlock Holmes from the BBC Sherlock dies and
Huh.
comes back. The Doctor from Doctor Who dies and comes back.
Luke.
Yeah. Well,
Loop.
Yeah. Yeah,
we said not.
Loop. Aubrey Little.
Do other podcast characters count as fictional though?
You
They
didn't say
are,
not
yeah.
D&D.
Well, I
You said-
mean, but like but it's not the same world, so technically it's still fictional.
I guess you're
Okay,
right.
then sorry is now cosplaying Angus MacDonald.
You know, I think because the joke has been made many, many times on this server and to me on Instagram, I think that the character that Caleb could cosplay really, really well is Ian from Onwards because he looks exactly like him.
Yep.
Caleb would cosplay as Ian first because he's not bold with cosplay. He'd need to dip his toe in the cosplay waters.
He doesn't need to do anything. He just needs to put on a plaid shirt and he's there.
Yeah.
And some pants. Put on
Jitter. This is a
pants.
fun one, but I will say Jitter would absolutely adore the chance to wear an Iron Man suit in public and not be scornful.
Oh, that's really cute.
Aw. I want to cosplay Jitter.
Oh,
Livy IRL wants to cosplay Jitter. He's adorable.
This was a cute question. I enjoyed this.
This was
question.
a cute question.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a cute one.
Yeah. Let's see. Minnie asks, will Starry ever beat the train?
Well, she will try. So hard.
We're proud of her.
I believe in her.
Day.
Someday. That'll be the final campaign one shot we ever do. And it's just an hour of sorry cartwheeling to beat the train.
Wow, it sounds
Yeah,
really
she'll beat the
entertaining.
heckin' train. So
It'll be more entertaining because everyone in the background will be fighting like a monster or something. Like something will be attacking the town, and Sari's like, I gotta win. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, there's a freaking dragon! And she's like, I gotta curry down the train.
That's how she wins.
Oh my god.
The train gets destroyed by a dragon and she wins.
Oh my god, that's really
Until
good.
the caboose car rolls in about 5 seconds after her.
That's so
Because
good.
it's the only one left.
I love that. I love that. That's great.
That's how she beats the train.
But no one tells her. No one tells her that it's because the dragon destroyed the train. Sorry, just one. No one let her have this.
Please let her have this.
Gale has lost half his feathers from stress of her nearly dying.
Oh.
Just let her have
Oh.
You guys want to move on to you guys want to take a pause from questions and go to some stats or do some
Yes.
stats?
Sure.
Okay. So, the most downloaded episodes ever are the same from last time. Episode 1, 2, 3, 4. You know how it is. So I decided to look at the top 10 countries and the most downloads this month. I mean, the episodes that have the most downloads the month of April. Countries, number 1 is the United States. Stay strong, buddies. Number 2 is the United Kingdom.
Nice.
Hi, Pixie.
Number 3 is Canada.
Nice.
Canada, eh? I'm sorry, that was so insensitive.
Canada?
Misty.
Missy's from Canada, but Missy's really heckin' busy. I don't know if she listens actively.
I don't know anyone from Canada. If you're in Canada, hi.
People from these countries, join our server. We want to meet international friends.
Yeah, we have a couple and they're really cool. But yeah.
Lots of friends.
Australia is number 4.
Oh, that's cool.
It's in Australia. That's so cool.
People in Australia, why are you listening to us? You have a D&D campaign outside your fucking backyard.
You've got hobbit holes. You've got all sorts of cool stuff.
Oh god, you guys have
that's
lose
what
all of our Australian.
If your lives aren't already exciting as is.
Number 5 is Germany. Hi, Germany.
Hi, Germany.
Cool.
Number 6 is Singapore. Hi, Minnie.
Hi,
Ooh.
Minnie.
Hi, Minnie.
How many people has Minnie told about our podcast?
Probably a few. Number 7 is New Zealand, land of the
Hello,
Hobbit.
Hobbiton.
Ooh.
Hobbitland.
Do you think New Zealand ever gets sick of being compared to the Lord of the Rings and nothing?
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
No, wait,
Sorry if you're from New Zealand.
I know for a fact that they have a giant statue of Gollum in their airport.
Really?
I know there's a statue of Gollum in an airport, because I read a news story about it falling down.
Okay.
So I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, hey, New Zealand, come yell at me on the server. Join the server to yell at me.
That's one way to advertise.
Number 8 is Portugal.
Portugal.
Cool.
Oh, fun.
Number 9 is Vietnam.
Ooh.
And number 10 is the Virgin Islands.
Nice.
I don't even know where
nice.
that is.
People in any country that's not the United States, if you want us to come and do a convention over there,
Oh my god.
pay us money. Anyway.
Give us a lot of money. We can't even afford to have a convention here.
We'll
God, we can't barely afford
What?
like expensive mics, guys. What are we doing?
I've got a $60 mic.
I suppose you.
With 64K downloads, 6.4K, didn't want to scare you too much. With 6.4K downloads, the top 10 episodes this month. Actually, everyone take a guess what the most downloaded episode this month is.
Is it the finale?
Is it the finale?
What do you mean by the finale?
The actual finale episode.
Epilogue?
The epilogue?
Yes! The episode
Okay.
was downloaded.
Yay!
Oh, this makes me happy.
That's
The
like my
second
favorite
most-
episode.
The second most downloaded episode this month is To the River Part 2.
Oh, that's a really good
Ooh.
one. I'm proud of
That
whoever's
one's really
downloading
good.
that.
The third most is the actual final battle.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth is To the River Part 1.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the fifth is episode 1. You know, the one that
Wow.
usually dominates number 1 on our list. The
Mm-hmm.
To the River
Wow.
two-parter and the finale two-parter overtook it by 4 slots.
Oh wow. That's really cool.
I told you those last 4 episodes were really good.
They are. The entire last arc is so good.
We'll
It
get there.
is.
Number 6.
Oh.
Number 6 is 3DM7. So that's the one we had with Hallie.
Oh. Neat.
Is it because I ended it with Megalovania? Tell me so
Yes.
on the server.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
Message me anywhere and tell me if the reason you listened to 3DM7 was for Megalovania, because if so, I will put Megalovania at the end of more shit.
I'll end
We
every
have the
single
rights, 'cause it was-
episode in
It's
C2.
made by a friend.
Number 7 is Number 7 threw me off. Number 7 was Hey There Delilah.
Huh.
What? It's a good
Yeah.
episode, but
It
that
is
was a
good
while
episode.
ago.
Yeah. I mean, I get number 1 being up at the top, but at number 5, huh? Maybe a lot of Pixie fans are coming out the woodwork.
Good. They deserve to.
They deserve to.
I like that episode a lot. I think it's cute.
It is also the first big boss fight that happened in the show with the Frostwolf.
That's true.
Maybe people went back and listened to that one because it had the first big boss fight, because we fought the Frostwolf during the boss rush.
Maybe. That actually makes a lot of fucking sense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I would have listened to it.
Yeah. Number 8 also kind of made me pause a bit. Number 8 is our only Arc 2 representative, and it's Camera Shy.
Huh.
Which is
a lot of Angel fans?
I guess. It was very fun. Maybe it's because I name dropped Angel a couple times in the finale. And I was like, oh yeah, Angel. I want to listen to her episode again.
Yeah.
I'll
be honest, I don't think I've listened to that episode yet.
You absolutely need to. It is so funny.
It's very cute.
Angel's dynamic with Caleb makes my heart happy, and if it weren't for Anna, I think Angel and Caleb would have remained canon because of
That's
that.
adorable.
Number 9 is A Prince, a Dragon, and a War, which was
good.
A very dialogue-heavy episode, so props to you guys for sticking through that one. And number 10, because it never leaves the top 10, is Reignited.
I'm proud. I'm so proud. Do people just keep downloading and re-listening to that episode?
Probably. It's a good episode.
It's a good episode, but like, come on. There's other good episodes.
That's true, but it was like the first one that made us cry.
Yeah.
True.
I remember sitting there like, huh. It was like my 5th episode. And I was like, this is fun.
Oh, yeah.
That was right after we introduced Kat.
So I'm just,
I think it was the episode after we introduced Kat.
Oh, jeez. Wait,
Kat, we're sorry we did that to you.
It's the episode right after Fallfin and Frogs.
After Fallfin and Frogs was technically her one-on-one, but then it was Reignited. Yeah. Questions. Back to questions?
Back to questions.
Sure.
Okay, we're gonna get into more like actually discussable questions, I swear.
I like the goofy ones though.
The goofy ones are very fun. We'll start with a more discussion-based one. Amelia asks, what was the most hard-hitting moment? That doesn't necessarily mean sad, just emotional. The moment that you, the person, felt the most emotion.
Oh.
Okay.
Ooh.
I think I have 2, but both of them are pretty recent, actually. Actually, it's kind of hard. I've had a few. One of them was back in Perchance to Dream. when I was playing Valerian as a guest and not as a player and a cast member. When the Malsum like just like straight up like got like face to face with Valerian like inches apart, that hit like I was sweating. It was terrifying. So that's one of them. It wasn't sad, but it scared the shit out of me. And then another one is recently during To the River when Finn had a breakdown, and when after I said that Finley was afraid, B said that somewhere like Terror was like fucking smiling, and I was like, oh god, oh no. So yeah, it's probably the two biggest ones, but those are more fearful than just like sad.
Yeah, that for me, Finley's breakdown was definitely like a really hard-hitting moment. Like, God, that scene was so good. And then, yeah, with it ending with like Somewhere Terror Smiles, I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. So good. Oh, that scene is like really painful, but it's such a good scene. So that one for sure. Obviously Anna being brought back is a moment that stands out.
Yeah.
The moment with see, there are a lot of them from arc 4, because arc 4 I think was definitely the most emotional arc. So like Caleb being reunited with Alana was a really, really sweet moment. The moment where Sari and Rowan had that conversation about Sari's past and making
God,
up with
that feels
Caleb.
like so fucking long ago.
I know it does. And then I want to say Caleb in the river. The moment where we all had to trust him to go into the river was a really, really cool moment. Yeah, I think those are the ones. I think those are the big ones for me.
I also want to point out all the stuff that was happening as Caleb was about to go into the river, like the others who went into the river, and freaking the parallel scene with Andre and Finn with freaking Valdis. That had me on the edge of my seat.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the scene with Valdis was really, really good, and I've just been wondering what happened to him. Since the end of the campaign, my mind's just been on what happened to him. Did he die? Like, we just left him in there. Like, what's going on? What happened to Valdis? Is he okay?
I don't know.
We'll find out eventually.
We'll find out.
Such a good scene.
Let's see what else.
Was.
I also still think Andre's first one-on-one hits me pretty solidly. Like, it was such a big, like, turning point in her character development that, like, I was just like, oh, my baby. It hits me right here in the heart. And I had another one, but I can't. I mean, obviously, Anna being brought back. Oh, it was the freaking after B narrated the tiefling boy and the Astraean talking, and then he just went roll initiative, and we just screamed. That it was a simple moment, but I was just like, oh boy, okay, here we go.
What about you, Lily? Sari had a very emotionally heavy final arc.
Yeah, I'd definitely say a moment that it's pretty hard would be from the beginning of Secrets, Lies, and Red Eyes, where she's kind of gone through like, oh, we brought back Anna and Caleb doesn't hang out with me as much. Well, that's okay, I guess. Oh, Caleb's dad came back and he needs... Oh, never mind, he has Anna. Okay. And it was just like her whole struggle with abandonment and them fighting, and then the whole resolution of it with her talking to Rowan, and that, all my feelings, and then the final part of Into the River where she sees where her parents abandon her. That all hits really hard. Also, the whole Rowan's Into the River part. That's messed me up a little bit.
I want to apologize.
I'm only deeply traumatized. It's fine.
I will say, from the writer's perspective.
Oh my god, I didn't even mention Rowan killing someone as a moment that hit me. Oh, yeah, there was that.
Yeah, that kind of hit hard.
I think I repressed that a little.
I didn't. I think about that often.
I
live in fear of Rowan.
I need to think of a moment where I was a player, which is harder to come by than I think.
Don't think about those. Don't think about them. Every time you were a player, I cursed you.
It's true. I did like Caleb's diplomatic moment in Finn and Frog. I did like his peaceful resolution with the totem, because
yeah, although I want to say, like, not to take away from that moment, because that moment is great. Caleb was basically a player, so like I think you have free range to talk about any Caleb moment. B.
I do, but like a lot of them didn't hit me emotionally because I proctored them into existence.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, as though I knew these things were going to happen to Caleb, ergo I wasn't
Feel
hit
the
by
emotions.
them. Exactly, because I needed to like think them out. You know what I mean?
But you were like actually crying when Anna came back, though.
Oh, for sure, it was definitely emotional, but like I knew it was going to happen weeks in advance. So like the rawness of that moment isn't the same, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Like, you guys are talking about moments of like improvisation and moments of like your character finding something out kind of on their own. And to me, you know what I mean? Like, it's in the question itself. I don't think those moments are less emotional. I just think the question of what hit me emotionally is different as your dungeon master. You know what I mean?
I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
So for me, as Caleb the player, it was definitely his diplomatic moment, Totem, where he like we've always kind of talked about Caleb wise and nice ruler and a kind soul, and I think because he isn't always a player character, we don't always get to see his decision making process. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So seeing him come to this peaceful diplomatic solution and like working things out for the betterment of people, I think was a good moment to see, because it made Caleb live up to what we knew about him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, that's a really good example.
Next question. Kind of on a note that Rev brought up, Ren once again asked, what is the most defining moment of the campaign for your character? What moment was the biggest catalyst for their development?
Ooh. Every moment I just mentioned.
Ooh, I have a good one for Andre.
Oh, please.
Okay, besides her one-on-ones, which I think were pretty telling, I honestly think the conversation that she had with Finn while they were waiting for the healer in the hearth, that was a pretty big turnaround for Andre, because she was comforting Finley rather than, like, she's always been kind of emotionally closed off, you know? Like, she had to be helped to be brought out of her shell and stuff. But, like, once she was able to take what she'd learned and start imparting it to Finley, I think that was, like, that was, like, a crucial moment in the development that I was going for with her during the story. So, yeah.
Finn, Kat, do you have anything for Finn that kind of bounces off that? I mean,
it's really hard. I think it's weird because it's like she sort of had to she had a very quick development, or at least quicker than the rest. It's still slow, but in retrospect, I think it probably started when with Finn's one-on-one, like with Caleb taking or well, Finn found the catacombs. He didn't take her there, and that whole conversation I think led up to like what happened. But everything, I feel like every episode there was a change, and then like when she had Andre there to tell her that like Caleb can take care of himself, like just worried about you. So, and it's a lot. um it's it's different to have your someone who's not your idol, or even because like even if someone who you looked up to previously and you're now on a better level with, if they say something to you like, and it's having to do with like not um paying attention to them, it doesn't mean as much. But if it's someone who's actively like on your level, and just you've always known them as this person, it's a lot different. So I think Andre's what she needed to like realize that like Caleb has his own life, and she can have her own. So yeah.
Bless.
God, I love that scene so much. The scene of them in the doctor's office is just
Infirmary? Question mark?
infirmary. Yeah, infirmary. Such a good scene. Oh, that was the scene that made all of us go like, "Is there something going on between those two?"
There must be something there that wasn't there before.
Exactly that.
And I want to say, even though Finn came in later in the series, I don't think her development felt rushed. If that makes
No.
Oh yeah, I don't think so either.
I think the addition of Finn was just kind of one of those things that just happened supernaturally. Like, she joined us and it was like she was always meant to be there, you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
boobs, you guys. Oh, Finley's a projection of myself.
Oh. Livy, do you have anything for Sari? Like the moment? Do you have Sari's moment, or was it something you've already discussed?
Well, her moments kind of were like, besides her just being her, the whole Sari's one-on-one with the Rose Garden was her being awkward. Another moment of her coming into herself, I think, was when she brought Caleb to meet Abix.
Yeah.
She
I
kind of
never really thought through the emotional implications of that, but yeah, that must have been interesting for Sari.
It's like she finally. It's for Sari. It's hard. I guess it's hard for her to like trust people. I guess she trusts easily and yet also has trouble letting down her guard because she fears being let go and being abandoned.
Yeah,
So the fact
Sari.
that she brought
Really
Caleb.
interesting. Yeah, she mentioned that in the episode too, about how like she always kept the map because no one could run off if they don't know where they're going, and that's why she keeps the map so they don't run away.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Sari is like one of those characters. I'm gonna be a nerd for a second, but like
Go for it. Be a nerd about
we're
my
all
character.
okay. We're all big Adventure Zone fans. I can say that safely, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the reasons why I really, really enjoyed Taco was because he was one of those characters that started as super like a comic relief character. You know, like he was just fun and silly and like always had a witty comment, and you know, like he was a type of character that like you don't really take seriously. But then as you learn more and more about him, you learn that he has this like really sad backstory, and he's missing his sister, and like this horrible thing happened to him that made him give up his dreams, and like he starts to become, as Justin said, a three-dimensional character, you know. And I really feel the same way about Sorry. Like, she's this really goofy, funny character, but like there are so many layers to Sorry when you really start to like take a look at her character. And I just love characters like that, and I've really enjoyed like getting to see Sari's character develop that way, from someone who was like really silly to like having these different layers. And I just think that like I know that a lot of people have said that they really relate to Sari, and I think it's because a lot of people can relate to like the kind of loss of innocence arc that Sari goes through, from like being this really happy-go-lucky, silly little kid to like starting to feel some like really adult feelings. Because like, yes, the episode with Rose has this kind of like awkward feeling to it in the first part, but it's because like Sari is concerned about like Calum, who's basically his brother, and his girlfriend like having sex. Like that's the tone of that episode, and that's a really awkward thing to discuss, but like that's showing kind of Sari growing up. Like that's a concept that she understands and is like starting to come to terms with. And like I don't know, like it's just really interesting, I think, to see Sari grow up that way. But it's also been like really enjoyable. So that's my little take on Sari.
I never felt more loved and appreciated and validated in my entire life.
I will say one of my favorite things that came out of that episode was conversation about Sari being, I think the proper term is neurodivergent. And like, and it was nothing Livy said that it was something Livy said she never planned for, but like, if I remember right, Spy and Pixie were pointing out like similarities between Sari's behavior and people they know, and it was very interesting. And I don't know, it's like that's a take on Sari that I really enjoy.
Same. I really like that. I remember that conversation.
And it actually informs a lot of like not only Sari's development but the party's as well. From like, because I remember in the early episodes, Sari kind of exasperated everyone,
Yeah.
Like in arc 1, like Andre, Calum, Rowan kind of like gave Sari a bit of a wider berth, And then like I think around arc 2, I think around episode 11 was when we really started to see like Sari's emphasis on family. And like when she told Calum that she was his brother, they were family now. That moment, that little offhand moment, sparked so much of Sari's development, and that came from an episode about a sleepover, and like that's how it goes,
Yeah, and like I think that kind of plays into it too, because like a lot of our characters are adults, but like we were having a sleepover, and I feel like that kind of plays into that like
Sari's a little kid.
Yeah, that kind of childlike innocence that Sari has, that I think Sari kind of helps to keep this innocent tone with the party a little bit,
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But
she's had
I just love Sari. She's great.
She's had a lot of coming into her own moments. Like when Calum and her became brother and sister. That, like, looking back on everything that's happened, that, while it may have seemed offhand in the moment from, like, my perspective, like, looking back at it through, like, finale level glasses, that probably took a lot for her.
Yeah.
To even say that.
Yeah.
And to not worry about being replaced. I mean, remember the whole thing with Invo and being the better sibling.
yeah, she
Mhm.
she needed validation as the one who was irreplaceable.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, that puts. Oh gosh, that puts a lot of things into a different context now. I'm realizing. Oh my god, sorry,
Especially her
baby.
her dislike of Altria also makes a lot of sense.
Oh my god. Ah! That whole
I-
episode has a different context now.
Oh,
I
Ah!
have made the most complex character, and her name is Sorry, and she says no, I'm sorry whenever someone apologizes, and she cartwheels instead of walking. What have I done?
I don't know, but I relate to Sorry a whole lot. I want to give her a
Mhm.
hug.
Sorry,
Mhm.
I think a lot of people relate to Sorry because we all kind of feel that need to be loved, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, fuck. Thanks, Ren.
Yeah.
um,
Sorry's a good character.
yeah. We never touched on Rowan. Um, do you have like a catalyst for Rowan, you think? Or was it kind of the wolf thing that we kind of talked about?
Yeah, it was like um I mean that obviously was a big moment for her, but that happened in the last episode, you know.
I feel like a lot of Rowan's development happened early and then late.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
and
I can agree with that.
I think that's partly because Rowan started as kind of the audience insert in the first arc.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she was like the one who didn't have the quirky face. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
where their one sentence intro wasn't thing that was wild and fantastical. Rowan was the most normal seeming, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Rowan's development was a lot of like mirrored a lot of like the audience coming to terms with this town was a lot of Rowan's development of coming to terms with Timshel.
Yeah. Like I liked the idea of having a character that kind of there wasn't really anything super crazy about her, you know? She was just kind of like a normal townsfolk who was thrust into this adventure position and like didn't really want it at first and then kind of came into it as time went on. Because I guess just a common theme that I seem to have for a lot of my characters is not being very brave and then kind of having to come into that bravery, you know? And I'm really happy with how that arc went for Rowan. Like I'm just proud of her.
Yeah.
But I think the first moment and I've talked about this before, but I think that the first moment was after the fight with the Frost Wolf. I think that was the first time Rowan really you know, felt how much power she could have if she allowed herself to be brave and to take some risks.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when she decided, you know, I'm on board with this. You know, I feel confident enough in myself to you know, take this risk. And I mean, we haven't really talked a lot about like how we as people got together and started this podcast, but like that was very much how it was for me because I met B on Instagram. Like
Same.
you know, like I didn't know him and I didn't know you guys or like any of his friends. He literally just we'd been messaging each other for a couple of months and then he came to me and was like, "Hey, do you want to be in a podcast?" And I was like, "Uh sure." And then like all of this happened and that was I feel like kind of paralleled a little bit by how Rowan joined the night council. It was kind of just a like,
Hey, do you want to join
okay,
us?
sure, I'm gonna take this risk and then like all this great stuff came of it. So yeah, I think that
That's how life be.
that was Rowan's moment. Yeah.
Rowan's moment is take the risk and see what happens.
Yeah.
fuck, y'all.
We get
Dang.
way too in depth about our characters.
We love them. What
It's
it was,
good. I'm
I'm
glad.
curious. What do you think the moment was for Caleb?
Man, it's weird, but it's kind of an understated moment. It's more of a lack of something than a moment that had something. And I don't know how well this got portrayed in the early episodes, but the persona of Ace was kind of Caleb's crutch.
I could tell that.
It was
Hmm.
his way of like doing the things he never could do as a prince, if that makes sense. Because he had his slanted ideas of leadership meant, and most of those came from Fitzroy. And he figured that you had to do all these things to be a prince, to be a leader. And when really what I think Caleb came to learn was that being a leader means doing the right thing for your people. And it didn't matter about the formality. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so Ace was Caleb knowing that, but refusing to, but it didn't conform to his worldview of what Prince was. So he made up this dashing rogue persona who got to live out this life of doing the right thing, but maybe doing things in an unprincely way that Caleb felt he never could do.
Mm-hmm.
And as that faded out, I think Caleb became himself, if that makes sense. Like the lack of Ace appearance started to let Caleb be Caleb.
Yeah, because I feel like he learned that he I think he learned that being a leader didn't necessarily mean being a tyrant. He could do all the same stuff that he was doing as Ace, as Caleb. He just needed to develop some of that confidence and bravery,
Oh yeah.
in order to do these like quote unquote unprincely things. I can see that. I definitely see that. I also think another moment for Caleb, if I'm allowed to say something about Caleb, was when Sari took him to go and meet Abex. I think that kind of like
That's just such a good episode. Arc 2 had a lot of very good stories, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. But just that moment where he kind of realizes that he never really got to do all of the things that like normal kids do,
Like fishing.
Yeah. And he kind of started to realize, I feel like that episode, as well as episode 11, were kind of what made Caleb start to really think about his childhood more and like all of the things that he lost. And that was what really set us on the course to like resurrecting Anna. Was I think that like getting to go with Sari and see her family kind of brought up, and then later at the sleepover when we were playing Truth or Dare, like brought up
That
these
was the
memories.
that was the first time the name of Anna got mentioned.
Yeah, well, because what I'm saying is like I feel like that like those two events kind of like brought up these memories that Caleb had kind of been repressing, and started us on really the course that led us to the finale. So I feel like a combination of Ace and like that moment were Caleb's moments.
Livy, do you remember how Anna became a thing and how we decided the course of Arc 3?
Yeah, I remember all of that.
Yeah, we were going to record. Was it the old Q? Was it the first Q&A? No. It was
something else.
We were going to record something, and it didn't work out. And so, because Rev had a kind of an emergency, I think, if I remember right.
We didn't have
I have a lot of those.
And we didn't have, and this was before we had cats, so there was only 2 players, so we figured we'd record anything. So we just kind of started talking about the story, and Anna came up, and we started talking about her, and then that mixed with man, if copyright law didn't exist, Regina Spektor's Firewood, that and our conversation about Anna just merged together and became, I think at like 2 a.m. we just sat there and were like, this is the plot, this is Arc 3, this is our story.
That
I remember I think I specifically said something like, "Oh man, too bad there's not a lich that like comes back and relies on love
he
and
has a good
power."
lich. Because
He's a
we were
good
talking about
lich.
could Anna come back as a lich in the Taz definition of a lich, and I was like, that's so world specific, you know?
Yeah.
And so I looked up good liches and I found the Bale Norn from 3.5 and I was there it is.
And it happened to be exactly what we were talking about.
It was for an elven spellcaster and I lost my mind.
I remember. You screamed.
God, I forget if I was a part of that conversation because I do remember you talking about
I think you were
that.
there.
You were there,
Yeah.
but I think at a certain point you had to mute because it was getting late.
I see. I remember listening to Firewood, and now literally every time I hear that song, I cry. I can't listen to that song without crying now because it just makes me think of Anna and like all that stuff. And
And I remember
he
telling
played
Rev
it at the.
I remember telling Rev the next day about it, and I remember she kind of had the same effect, but with a delay.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you
Yep.
played it after the finale. I was just it was a mess.
Oh yeah, I did. When Shay and I listened to the finale together, I played Firewood at the end.
Yeah,
Oh.
and I was like bawling. God, I was a mess. B. I love you, but mean.
Oh
So
no.
next question.
Oh my gosh, that was just one question.
That was one question, y'all. Ren also wants to know what your process for making characters is.
Ooh,
That's a good question.
there's some very good questions in this episode.
Very. It varies a lot. Like, I've got a character who's a cleric named Joy Riverdalia, and she's an Eladrin. And I made her simply because I had just finished listening to the Adventure Zone, and her name was Joy because Merle says choose Joy, and she's a cleric because Merle, and an elf because Taco. That's just. And then one time in a Walmart parking lot, I heard a mom yell Sebastian, and I made a cleric based off of that.
It's almost impressive.
That is impressive. What do you mean almost?
It's true.
What about you, Kat?
Character creation process is tricky. I remember Finn's process was B and I just ferociously screaming things back at each other with excitement.
I remember that.
Like it was like
that sounds like that.
yeah, it was like Ghost Girl. Ghost Girl? Ghost Girl. Like Eldritch Knight. Eldritch Knight. And then
I think the first thing that we found out that we knew about Finn was her was Caleb's guard, and then we had to like take that role and make the pieces fit. What? Pieces fit.
Peepus room.
Peepus room.
And make the pieces fit into there, and we got Finley out of it. And I'm so thankful that we did. While we're reminiscing, Kat, do we want to tell the story of like the first time we RP'd together?
Oh boy. It's yes, we can do that. I guess it is what got me on here, so
we did the guest session, and I will not lie to you, Kat. The guest session was like 90% me looking at friends of mine on Instagram who had cool Taz accounts and being like they'd want to play D&D. And then the dream session happened because of Sleep On, which was cool.
It's gonna happen, guys. I just gotta get it happening.
And that was when the CF podcast run was going to be a thing, and me and Kat were in a roleplay at the Text RP in that server at like 2 a.m. just making a goofy ass scene between our characters where they got high and started just fucking losing their shit.
It was amazing. I swear, I think it was more than 2 a.m. I feel like it was maybe 3.
We just couldn't stop.
I think we were in VC at the same time too.
We were laughing at our own joke.
It was insane. Yeah. So
Yeah, because we passed out, no one like when we woke up, everyone had read it already, and there was no like instant reaction to be had. It was great.
yes, but so I was very surprised when I was told that that's what got me on the podcast. Like, really?
There was like
That?
there was like a level of like trust that came out of that, if that makes
It's
sense.
true.
Yeah, you trust someone after you roleplay with them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at 3 a.m. over 10 fumes.
But
I mean, also like falling asleep, that's trust.
That's true.
But
Uh,
as for like real quickly, as for character creation, like usually I just I spat out a few I like if I'm doing it like by myself, I start with a class, and because like I've played the only classes that I haven't played thus far, druid, artificer, and sorcerer, I think.
Oh my god, those are other classes that I have played.
And I because I've played all the others, but like it's like anything that sounds interesting, or like sometimes like I'll hear like this one class sounds cool, so and this one race that I haven't played, I'll just like mash them together. So it's kind of character creation is a thing where you can either be very organized or not organized at all, and I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
What
were you
about
gonna
you,
say?
Rev?
Oh, me. Oh, yeah. My character creation process is similar to Cat's most of the time, and then I start with a class and then build off of that. Like, I just made a new character the other day, and I basically took all the classes that I hadn't played and just picked one from there. It ended up being a sorcerer because I haven't played a sorcerer. And
Valid.
with that, I had to pick my sorceress origin. She's a storm sorceress.
Ooh.
And then based on that, I kind of picked. I had a certain aesthetic that I wanted to go for, and so she ended up being a water genasi. So she's a water genasi
Ooh.
storm sorceress. And
Oh,
I'm
I
just
love
like,
that.
oh, I'm so excited to play her. But yeah, and then other times it's kind of like Livy, where like I hear a thing and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make a character based on that.
Mm-hmm.
So that let's see, I'm trying to remember how I came up with Andre. Because I didn't use either method for that because she was only the third character I'd played, so most of the classes I had not played.
I don't even know
Andre,
how I came up with sorry. I honestly
I
do not
remember
know.
I remember we talked about Andre a lot, and I in the early days.
Yeah,
Andre,
yeah.
no, I remember we got on and we literally ran down like every class and what story options were available there in Timshul, and we settled on. And you went half elf because you liked the aesthetic, and the name
No,
Andre took a
I
while.
yeah, the name did, but I want a side note. I didn't immediately settle on half elf. Originally, I settled on changeling.
That's
And
right. Andre was gonna be a changeling.
Oh my
Oh,
yeah,
that would have been
gosh.
cool. I
That
love
would be
Andre
so
as is, but
rad.
that would have been cool.
it would have been cool, but I also I think I misspoke earlier and said Andre was the third character I'd played. She was the third one I've made, but I hadn't actually played before.
That's
Yeah.
valid.
Your other
Mm-hmm.
two characters
So
were Aspen and
Sasha.
Sasha came first? I completely
Mhm.
forgot.
Oh my gosh, Sasha came first.
Yeah.
I
Aspen,
love
then
her.
Sasha, then Andre in that order.
Hmm.
But yeah, so Andre I guess doesn't count because we just kind of ran through all the classes and races and stuff.
Andre was
But
before you had a process, honestly.
it was before I had a process, exactly. But, yeah, so my process is kind of like a mixture between Cats and Livy's, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are we good?
I think that's
Or-
good.
I
Well,
didn't go.
I did
Oh,
make
okay.
a duck character, but that's just because I saw a picture of a duck and I'm like, yep, I'm making a D&D character about this now.
Nice.
You just be like that.
Yep.
I feel like for me, I don't really have a process. Like, it just
You also
There's-
use a lot of characters over again.
yeah, I do reuse characters because there are characters that I've come up with in the past who I really enjoy and who then I'm like, oh, I feel like I want to play that character as a D&D character, because it helps me to learn more about them. I have all these characters that I've just been like sitting on the back burner that I've just never done anything with, and then when I get an opportunity, I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, I would love to play them as a D&D character and just see, like how that would go down. That was kind of what I did with Rin. He was part of a thing that a friend and I had been working on for a long time, and then I decided, I think it would be fun. He's a character that I enjoy a lot. And I had a great time playing him. But yeah, I guess I kind of come up with characters in a lot of different ways.
You also take mine.
What do you mean?
Valdis.
Oh, hey, I didn't mean to. Okay, well, actually, that was a process of stealing 3 times. because first it was Yina and her friend's character, and she was like, "Hey, we made up this character. What do you want to do with him? Go crazy. Use him in your campaign."
You're kind of wrong. I asked Yina and Ethan to give Valdis and Thana personality.
Oh,
oh my gosh.
I drummed them up, and I saw a thing about living villains, which was a D&D concept where you have another friend come up with your villain's plans. So that way it has that like authenticity of another person.
I see.
I went to Yina and Ethan for Valdis and Thana, and then slowly I kind of took them back once they'd worked their magic on them. And then you went and made him soft and gay.
I'm
He's not
sorry.
soft.
He's not soft in our campaign. He is in a
Why didn't you let me kill him?
Because I like him. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
Die.
I don't
No,
know. I don't
Oh,
know.
fuck.
I just really enjoyed his character, and I wanted to like have some fun with him, and I didn't mean to make him wild, but it just happened, and now I love him, and I'm sorry. I don't know.
I think
It's
that's all of
awful.
us with our D&D characters. Is like, I didn't mean to adopt this child, but here we are.
Yeah.
Valdis slowly became Shay's character to the point where when I'd play him, I'd play him in an episode, and the next day Shay would give me notes, kind of like about his personality and stuff. And I was,
What the heck, Shay?
and then rather than be upset by it, I was like, oh, okay, cool, that's how I do him right. And then it took me a minute, and I went, wait a second.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
I think the fact that it's originally B's character is the funniest thing ever.
I know. I'm sorry. Am I just
Shay gives him notes.
I'm so sorry. Look, I don't know. I tend to do that with stories too. Like I used to God, I hope this doesn't make me seem like a bad person. It's just what I do. I used to come up with stories just completely by myself when I was younger, right? But I never really did anything with them. And then when I got older, I had friends who would talk to me and they would be like, "Oh, I have this story idea, but I don't really know what to do with it. I don't think it's that good." But then I hear this pitch and I'm like, "No, wait, that's so cool. Let me get super super into this thing and help you with it." And I feel like that's kind of my role in storytelling now is I rarely come up with an idea just completely on my own. I really enjoy helping other people with their ideas, I like to be that person that's kind of oh, but what if you did this or and I just get really really excited and super super into other people's ideas, but not in like a I'm gonna steal your idea way, more in like a I want to help you make your idea really, really,
Yeah, I get that.
It's just very funny. It's just, the Valdez story is very funny.
I know. I don't know. I just really liked him, and I got a chance to play him in an RP. Like, I went to you and I asked you, like, like, I wanted permission. I was like, can I play him in this RP? And you were like, yeah, sure. And I just loved playing him. So.
and then he became soft and gay.
And then I made him soft and gay. I'm sorry. I just fun.
I'm not saying it's not a bad thing. It's not this one. It is not this
Yeah. It's also partially Lance's fault.
I will say it is partially Lance.
because
Yeah,
Lance,
just a bit.
Because Lance gave me a character to make him soft and gay with.
Wait, who was that?
Hauser.
It was Niam at first. And then it was Hauser.
More so Hauser.
More so Hauser. Hey, everyone, look, I was gonna have him do more evil shit. And then they were like, I want Valdez to have a sweet redemption arc. And I was like, I'm gonna give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want.
We've been talking about this way too long.
We really have.
I really hope that didn't sound like I was putting you on blast.
It did a little bit, but you know what? I'm here.
It was very funny.
Well deserved.
So yeah, my character creation process is all over the place. Sometimes they just come to me. Sometimes I like choose a class that I've never done before, or like a race that I've never done before. Sometimes I'll like have a dream about a character and I'll make a character based on that. And sometimes I just straight up steal them from B.
I can't wait for Shay to play Jitter and another.
She starts playing Calum, and somehow he's become more Calum than when you played Calum.
Exactly. Oh, fuck.
What a fantastic development.
Fucking hilarious.
Boy.
Okay, continuing on.
There's a lot of like deeper, and I'm worried at our speed.
We
so
got this.
Break it up. Who's a better cartwheeler, Sari or Calum from Brave?
Do we need to answer that question?
I really don't think we do. Sari is absolutely the queen of the cartwheel.
She taught him to cartwheel. He has not escalated to be better than her. He is still a student. He's the Padawan. She's the Jedi.
Vaguely threatening.